Sweat Smart program for beginners. Today we have a 30-minute beginner level Vinyasa yoga flow. If you're not a beginner, please don't press stop. Please stay and join us. If you are a beginner and you've never done yoga before, please click on the card above, which will lead you to the Sweat Smart program, where you will find 3 other yoga videos that build up to this one. So we're going to be adding a little bit onto our Vinyasa flow today. You don't need anything other than a mat. You want some space around you so that you can move without bumping into anything. But other than that, all you need is your body. And speaking of your body, let's begin in a cross-legged seat. So just crisscross applesauce, which is called Sukhasana, or easy seat in yoga. Close your eyes and bring your hands, palms facing up, to rest on your knees or your thighs, whatever's more comfortable for you. And the simple reason that we have palms facing up is because A, it opens up our shoulders a little bit, and B, because it just means that you are receptive to trying new things. Let's do just a quick little body scan here, starting at the crown of our head, down to our tailbone, noticing any areas where you might be holding on to some tension, and just see if you can relax a little bit. Maybe unfurrow your brow, unclench your jaw, relax the back of your neck, let your shoulders fall away from your ears. And take a nice deep inhale through your nose, filling up with breath. And an open mouth exhale, let it go. Let's take another deeper, fuller inhale, drawing that breath down into the very bottom lobes of your lungs. And a powerful open mouth exhale, letting go of anything that you don't need with you on this mat today. So any stress, worries, concerns that have popped up through your day, just check them at the door and know that they'll be waiting there for you. And you know, who knows, maybe you'll have a different perspective on them when you step off your mat. Again, deepest, fullest inhale yet, bringing in that breath until you feel like you can't take in another sip. And the loudest, longest open mouth exhale you've taken today. And then seal your lips closed and imagine that you're going to whisper to someone. Notice that constriction in the back of the throat. Those muscles constrict if you whisper. We're going to keep that slight constriction and continue to take deep filling inhales through the nose and powerful exhales through the nose, creating an ocean-like or Darth Vader-like sound with the breath as we exhale. On an inhale breath, blink your eyes open and sweep the arms up overhead. On an exhale, you're going to bring your left hand down to the mat, stretch your right fingertips up and over. Inhale back through center. Exhale, right hand touches the mat. Left fingertips reach over towards the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, right palm to the outside of the left knee. Simple twist, gaze towards your left. Inhale, fingertips overhead. Exhale, left palm to right knee, right fingertips to the mat. Gaze towards your right. Inhale back through center, and exhale, we'll meet in a tabletop pose for a cat-cow. So palms under shoulders, all 10 fingers spread nice and wide, knees under the hips. Inhale, cow pose, lift your gaze, lift your tail, belt your belly. Exhale, cat, press the mat away, draw your chin in towards your chest, belly button towards your spine, tailbone towards the mat. Inhale, cow pose, look up towards the spot where the wall and the ceiling meet in front of you, spread your collarbones wide. Exhale, cat, press the mat away, lift the spot between your shoulder blades as high as you can towards the ceiling. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more. Inhale, cow. And Coming back to a neutral tabletop on your inhale. Stay for the exhale, and then on your next inhale, extend your right arm and your left leg in that bird dog pose. And you can hold here in the balance, or if you'd like to take it a step further, on your next exhale, draw elbow to knee and knee to elbow. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen, thumb faces up, press through the heel, and exhale, tuck, round, and curl. Inhale, lengthen, really fire up that left glute in the back of the left leg. And exhale, contract your abs as you hug your elbow and knee in together. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, return to your tabletop. Other side, inhale, left arm, right leg, extend. Exhale, draw knee and elbow together. Inhale, lengthen, gaze beyond the front of your mat. And exhale, contract. Ooh, if you lose your balance, that's okay. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, hug it in. Inhale to find length. And exhale, tabletop. Go ahead and bring your palms out about a palm's distance from where they were, and imagine that you're screwing jar lids into the mat with your palms. Press your fingertips and your knuckles into the mat. Tuck your toes and bring your hips back towards your heels, and on an exhale breath, come into downward facing dog. Lifting the hips up and back. Distributing the weight evenly between the hands and the feet. Keeping a nice bend in the knees to create length in the upper body. Bringing your ears in line with your biceps, and then shifting your gaze back between your legs or up towards your belly button. The heels never have to touch the mat. Inhale, look to your hands, and exhale, step your left foot behind your left hand, right foot behind the right hand, coming into a rag doll. Just gently swaying side to side, thinking about lengthening your upper body towards your thighs, crown of the head towards the mat. Release the fingertips, and you can keep your feet hip-width distance apart, or you can bring your big toes to touch. Begin to tuck your tailbone under and slowly stack one vertebra on top of the other until you come up to stand. Crown of the head reaches up last. On an inhale breath, bring your shoulders up towards your ears, and as you exhale, release them down and back into their sockets, and bring your palms to face forward. Inhale, circle, sweep the arms overhead, squeeze your quadriceps to lift your kneecaps, and press the soles of your feet into the mat. Exhale, a new Vinyasa, cactus the elbows, shine your heart. Inhale, Tadasana, and exhale, Uttanasana. Forward fold. Hinging at the hips, not just bending in half. So the hips are drawing back, the chest is drawing forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Press your palms into your shins. Shoulders drop back away from the ears, and the tailbone draws back behind you. Exhale, fold. And inhale, slowly rise, one vertebra at a time, mountain pose. Exhale, cactus the elbows, Anuvatasana. Inhale, tall mountain. And exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Bending the knees as much as you need here. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold one more time through. Inhale, rise, Tadasana, mountain pose. And exhale, Anuvatasana, shine your heart. Inhale, Tadasana. And exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And on your exhale, plant your palms. Step back, high plank, left foot, then right. Stacking your shoulders over your wrists. Inhale, shift forward, and exhale, we're going to lower as slowly as we can from the knees or the toes, bending the elbows, hugging them into the side body, and then the entire front body arrives on the mat at the same time. Untuck your toes, inhale, cobra pose. Press the tops of your feet, the tops of your thighs, your pubic bone into the mat and gaze forward. Exhale, lower, and press all the way up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze to your hands, and exhale, step your feet behind your hands, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Lift the backs of your bum up towards the wall and the ceiling behind you. Inhale, chair pose. Sit low in that imaginary chair. Gaze down and make sure you can see your toes. And if you can't, press your shins back a little bit. And if you need to lift up a little bit in order to do that, go ahead and lift up a little bit. Bring your palms out, shoulder height, pinkies in, and then reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Relax the shoulders away from the ears and gaze up towards your fingers. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your palms, step your right foot in your back, left back, high plank. Inhale, shift forward, and then exhale from your knees or your toes, hug the elbows in and lower as slowly as you can to your front side body. And tuck the toes. Inhale, cobra pose. Draw your shoulders down and back away from your ears. Hug your elbows in towards one another. And exhale, press all the way up to downward facing dog. On an inhale, step your right foot to your right thumb, spin your back foot flat, and inhale, come up, warrior one. So heel to heel alignment. Right hip draws back, left hip draws up and forward. Exhale, windmill the palms. Step back to a high plank. Inhale, shift forward, and exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, the left foot steps to the left thumb, spin the right foot flat, and inhale, come up, warrior one. So squaring the shoulders to the front of the mat and working on squaring the hips towards the front of the mat, but not compromising the knee. So if you move your hips towards the front of the mat and you feel like your knee is twisting, it's okay for them to open up a little bit. Exhale, bring the palms to the mat, step back, high plank. Inhale, shift forward, and exhale, slowly lower. Knowing that you can skip this vinyasa where we lower down to our belly. Inhale, cobra pose, and go straight back to downward facing dog anytime you want. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to do that 2 more times, breath to movement. Inhale, gaze forward, exhale, step your right foot forward, left foot forward. Forward fold, maybe give the backs of your legs a little hug. Inhale, half lift, flat back, snuggle your shoulder blades down and back into their sockets. Exhale, fold again, and inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Sit back in that imaginary chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to high plank, and flow through your vinyasa or meet in downward facing dog. And from that downward facing dog, on an inhale, step your right foot up to the top of the mat, spin your left foot flat, and inhale, rise, warrior one. Exhale, palms to the mat, high plank, and lower to your belly. Inhale, cobra pose, lengthen your waist out of your hips, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot steps to the top of the mat, right foot spins flat, shoulders square to the front of the mat, warrior one. And exhale, windmill the palms, step back, high plank, and slowly lower. Hug those elbows in. Inhale, cobra pose, collarbones spread wide. And exhale, downward facing dog. All right, we're gonna do that 1 more time. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step the feet behind the hands, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, exhale, fold, and inhale, chair pose. So maybe you sit a little bit lower, but if it doesn't feel right, you can come up a little bit higher. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, plant your palms. Slowly lower. Pull those elbows back towards your heels. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. So using your core to lift the hips. Inhale, step the right foot. Exhale, spin the back foot and rise to warrior one. Exhale, windmill the palms, step the right foot back. So directly to downward facing dog, or maybe you try chaturanga this time, hovering your upper body, flip to the tops of your feet, and upward facing dog. So just the tops of our feet and our palms are on the mat in upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot steps to the top of the mat. Spin the right foot flat and rise to warrior one. Exhale, windmill the palms. Step back, and from your knees or toes, chaturanga, hovering, elbows bent 90 degrees, gaze forward, flip to the tops of the feet. Inhale, upward facing dog, spread your collarbones wide, and exhale, downward facing dog. All right, now we're gonna add on, plant your left foot on the mat, and on your inhale, lift your right leg straight back out of that right hip. Flex the right toes down towards the mat and lift through the inseam of your pants. Exhale, step the right foot between the hands. Spin the back foot flat, heel to arch alignment, and inhale, rise to warrior two. 90-degree bend in the right knee. Think about this femur bone pulling back into the hip socket as the knee lengthens forward, and press into the pinky edge of each foot. Gaze gently out over your right fingertips. Flip the right palm on an inhale, peaceful warrior. Walk the left fingertips down the left leg and feel that awesome stretch in the right side body. Exhale, extended side angle. Legs stay the same. Right elbow comes to the inside of the right knee, and you can use that elbow to kind of press the knee open. Hug your buns under and reach those left fingertips up towards the ceiling. On our inhale, we're going to come into reverse triangle. So straighten the right leg, walk the left fingertips down the left leg and reach the right fingertips up. And on an exhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Legs stay the same. Lengthen the right side body as far out of the hip as you can. And then bring your hand to your shin. You can press your palm gently on the shin or the back of the hand to the shin. And then again, hug this right hip under, and the tailbone draws back towards the left heel. Reach the left fingertips up towards the ceiling, and then back just a little bit to open up your chest towards the ceiling. Bend the right knee, inhale, come back up to warrior two, and exhale, windmill the palms. Step back, high plank, chaturanga, or lower all the way to your belly, and then inhale to cobra, or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Plant the right foot, inhale, lift the left leg, and exhale, step the left foot between the hands. Spin the right foot flat, find that heel to arch alignment, and come up to warrior two. Now as you press into the pinky edge of each foot, imagine that you're trying to pull the mat together with your feet, and notice how that turns on your legs. And then think about the fronts of your hips right here. So we're thinking about opening them. So opening by pressing into the pinky edge of the left foot, and then opening by this internal rotation of the back right leg. Extend the arms long. Imagine that you're snuggling something important between your shoulder blades that you want to hold on to, but you want to keep it safe. Like if it were a blueberry, right? If you squeeze too hard, it would pop. But if you don't squeeze, then it's gonna fall to the ground. So find that happy spot, and then extend the fingers in opposition, so as far away from each other as they can, as you gaze out over the left fingertips. On an inhale, flip the left palm, peaceful warrior. And exhale, extended side angle, lengthen out of the side body, elbow to the inside of the knee. So these right ribs are peeling back as the left ribs spiral under. And then inhale, reverse triangle. So straighten the left leg, right fingertips walk down the right leg, left fingertips lift. And then exhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Keep a bend, a micro bend in that front left knee. Lengthen as far as you can out of the side body. Bring the left hand to the inside of the left shin, and the right fingertips reach up towards the ceiling. So think about your chest lifting up towards the ceiling, opening towards the ceiling. Inhale back to warrior two. And exhale, windmill the palms to the mat. Step back to a high plank. And then chaturanga, or lower all the way to the mat. And then inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. All right, ground the left foot and inhale, right leg lifts straight back out of that right hip. And exhale, half pigeon. We're gonna bring the right knee behind the right hand and the right ankle behind the left hand. Lengthen the left leg straight back out of the left hip, and then give a press into the outer right knee and the top of the left knee to square your hips and your shoulders towards the front of the mat. If this is just too much and it's painful, you can come onto your back and do that figure four that we've done in the previous practices. Otherwise, join me in our pigeon. Gaze back over your right shoulder to make sure that that left leg and toes are in a nice straight line. And then you can begin to walk your fingertips forward, coming down onto your forearms. So if you have a yoga block at home, this is a great place to bring one under your arms. And then you can also walk your fingertips all the way forward and come into this reclined pigeon. And then just slowing down your breath, thinking about guiding that breath into the outer right hip. So this is a deep hip opener on the right. A lot of times our hips are tight, and these hip openers are a challenge. So one way to gauge if you have taken it too far is if your breath has become short and choppy. You know, you might want to just back out of a little bit, come back up onto your palms, because when our breath is short and choppy, it signals to our body to tense up, and we're actually trying to accomplish the exact opposite of that. So wherever you are, walk your palms up, tuck your left toes under, and inhale up to a three-legged dog, or three-legged downward facing dog, and then you can just turn some circles with that right leg. Whoops. You can bend the knee, draw the heel back towards the left, pressing evenly into both hands, and then come back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts, and exhale, half pigeon on the left. So the left knee behind the left hand and the right and the left ankle behind the right hand. So again, do that little press into the knees where you gently bring the left hip back and the right hip forward. And notice that my shin is not parallel to the front of the mat. So if I were to force that left shin to be parallel to the front of the mat, my hips would open off to the side, and that's not what I'm trying to accomplish. I want my hips facing forward, so that knee can be as bent as it needs to be. And then I want a little bit of space between my left hip and the mat and my right hip and the mat as I come down. So I'm not just collapsing down onto my left hip. I'm maintaining some space there between the left hip and the mat. And then again, your tool is your breath. So noticing if it's easy to breathe those long, steady inhales and those powerful exhales, then you're exactly where you need to be. If it's short and choppy, either come up to your palms or come onto your back. And there's no shame in taking whatever variation is right in your body. Because the point of this isn't to force something just this one time, just to do it. It's to learn the appropriate way of doing it so that you can do it time and time and time again and progress like the stretches in your body because they feel right, not because your ego tells you, oh, I want it to look this way. No, that's not the point. The point is to find sustainable ways to move that you build upon, that you get stronger and your base changes, and then you can attempt new variations and new postures. Yoga is called a practice, not a perfect. And on your next inhale, go ahead and come up to your palms. Tuck those right toes under, three-legged dog. You can bend that left knee, bring the sole of the left foot over towards the right, and then maybe turn some circles as you press evenly into both palms. And then go ahead and come into your final downward facing dog of the class, noticing how different it feels from the first. And then go ahead and walk yourself into a seat. And we're going to go ahead and come down onto our backs. So either with knees bent or legs straight. Extend your arms out, shoulder height, tuck your tailbone under, and then slowly roll down. On an exhale, hug your right knee in, press through your left heel and flex all 10 toes back towards your knees. You can hang out here, or if you like to take a gentle twist, extend the right arm, bring the right foot over to the left and gaze out over the right shoulder. Don't force the right knee down to the mat. It's more likely that it's your toe that's resting on the mat. And on an exhale breath, hug both knees in. And then inhale, lengthen the right leg, hug the left knee in. Again, active in the right leg, pressing through the heel, squeezing the quad, and then flexing all 10 toes back towards the knees. And then gentle twist if that feels good to you. Extend the left arm, right, the left knee comes over to the right. And your gaze is up towards the ceiling or out over that left shoulder. So this should feel nice in your low back. So if you're wrenching and pressing, then that doesn't feel nice. It could lead to injury in our low back. So let it be your big toe, or maybe nothing finds the mat. Maybe your big toe doesn't even find the mat. And on an exhale, come back through center. Hug your knees in, rock side to side. And then bring your hands to the soles of your feet. Press your knees out wide for a happy baby pose here. Just a little bit more of a hip opener. So we want to think about the tailbone staying on the mat. So that might mean that your hands just come to your calves, or maybe your hands just come to your thighs so that your tailbone can stay flat on the mat. And then when you're ready, hug yourself into a tight, tiny little ball, taking in the deepest breath you've taken today, and the loudest, longest open mouth exhale as you surrender into Shavasana, extending the legs long, heels to the wide edges of the mat, toes out. Give a little press into the back of your head, snuggle your shoulder blades in towards one another, palms facing up, and allow yourself to be heavy and to take up space here and simply to be, which is not easy for some of us, but is so important. And ideally, a Shavasana would last 5 minutes or longer. So if you have the gift of time, please stay in this Shavasana, just soaking in the calm you've created on your mat today.